We're here with
Kathleen Pate from the American Red Cross.
And she is the volunteer
Specialist. So a little different than coordination. I also engage our volunteers and work with them to make sure they're having a great experience.
I do know that you know things about volunteers that people need to know.
Right.
Tell us what we all need to know.
Volunteers can give so much.
Can anything get done without them?
No. 94% of our workforce is volunteers.
Oh,
it is
fun.
Huge. I could not make it out of the office ever without volunteers. There's volunteers on my team doing the volunteer coordination. There's volunteers who work in the office answering the phones, volunteers who respond to disasters, who work with the government during the time of a disaster, who are there at blood drives making sure our donors have a great experience, working with our armed forces, making sure that emergency communication goes from the family to the commanding officer to the soldier.
I just realized something. I just last week volunteered to serve up in Indiana where I live, in the Hancock County Emergency Reserve, something or another, and I'll be doing interpreting and communications and things as a volunteer. And I found out, I just realized, they said some of the same things you did. Almost everything in an emergency is done by volunteers.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. We during the time of a disaster, say for example the hurricane that happened this past fall, it affected Wilmington. We had volunteers staffing our shelters. We had volunteers driving food supplies out to folks who couldn't leave their homes. We had volunteers assessing the damage in people's homes to determine whether it was livable or not, and how we can serve them afterward if it's no longer livable. We have volunteer caseworkers who have a social work background who assist those families.
What have you noticed are the essential attitudes for an effective volunteer?
Every volunteer is different, and their motivation is different, and their characteristics are different. So it's finding what's right for you, because if you're a people person, that's great. Have a people-facing position, do something that is your mentor, do something that's working with people. But if you are more of a computer person, we have 2 volunteers who do all the tech stuff in our office, and without them I'm not sure what we would do, because my phone would never work. So stick to your strengths, and volunteers are people who want to use their skills, want to use their personality to just make the world a little bit better.
And so you provide a way for people to give.
Yeah, that's I'm there to just kind of coordinate it and to find the right fit.
And is this something you want to continue doing?
Yeah, I love it. It's a great place to work. It's good people. It's our mission is to prevent and alleviate human suffering, and what could be better than that?